This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Good day and welcome back to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Tuesday, November 19th of 2024, and we are so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I cover the Meet the Need donation to the Food Bank of Iowa. Again, that is now in its third year of happening. Partnership between the Farm Bureau and Fairway to make sure that hungry Iowans across the state are fed, especially during this Thanksgiving season. But before we get into any of that, let's hear a word from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Of course, covering that donation today, the Meet the Need donation. It's MEAT, the Need donation. Of course, many meat products, over 27,000 pounds, donated to the Food Bank of Iowa. Very critical time for food demand. Lots of people who are in need of that across the state. And meat is one of those things that is very hard to come by for a food bank. It is also often one of the things that goes out the doors most quickly. All right, we're here with Food Bank of Iowa CEO Michelle Book. Very big donation, an annual donation. Great to say that at this point, that this is a recurring event. Meet the Need, Farm Bureau, Fairway partnering together to donate 27,000 pounds of food to the Food Bank of Iowa. Tell us about this donation. We know it's a great timing and in the holiday season.
This is our third annual Meet the Need, and that's MEAT, Meet the Need, in partnership with Farm Bureau and Fairway, both of whom are good partners. They don't just show up today, but they show up every day to support Food Bank of Iowa and our neighbors in need. Protein is one of the most expensive things at the grocery store, but it's the thing that our bodies need the most. It builds muscle, provides amino acids. It's really important for all of us to have good, clean, lean protein in our diets, but again, it's the hardest thing for people to get at the grocery store. Food Bank of Iowa, it's also a hard thing for us to keep in stock. As soon as we procure protein, it flies right out the door. So this donation today was critically necessary. Need continues to grow as it has since April of 22. So 27,000 pounds of good, clean, lean, ground protein will go to all 99 counties across the state of Iowa. Each one of the Feeding America food banks is participating in this donation today.
And of course, even just outside of the holiday season, that need for food across the state is always very high. And it's unfortunate that we're at that point, but to see a donation like this and that people are willing to give is a very reassuring thing, especially in times of, I'd say, a little bit of instability, across the state, across the country.
Yeah, there's certainly a good amount of uncertainty in our world today. We have 6 Feeding America food banks that come together to make sure that no Iowan need go to bed hungry. Across our 99 counties, working with all 6 Feeding America food banks, there are 1,200 smaller frontline partners, meal sites, daycare centers, pantries that make sure that their neighbors are getting what they need. I mean, that's the essence of Iowa, Riley. You know this, you grew up here, I grew up here. Iowans help Iowans. Iowans step up when their neighbors are in need. Iowans are there to help, and it's the same thing that I've seen here at the food bank, my last 9 years at the food bank, that Iowans do show up and help their neighbors.
And Michelle, I'm sure a great way as you're preparing for retirement as well from the Food Bank of Iowa, this is a great way to kind of start to end things off with a donation like this, knowing that the food bank and the state of Iowa is going to be in good hands.
Absolutely. I tell you, every day at the food bank, a little bit of something breaks my heart, but then there's always something that fills my cup every single day. And today is one of those days that we get to celebrate our partnership with Fairway and the Iowa Farm Bureau, knowing that we're helping Iowans across all 99 counties.
All right, Michelle, thanks so much for taking the time to visit. Anything else with the food bank coming up that our listeners and viewers should know about today?
Well, I just say, as I depart at the end of the year, the food bank has never been in better shape. Facilities have been rebuilt. We have a complete, up-to-date fleet, the best team that we've ever had here at the Food Bank of Iowa, and they are poised and ready to move forward under the leadership of a new CEO, and I'm really excited to see what they do in 2025 and beyond.
All right, Michelle, thanks again for your time as always.
Thank you, Riley.
And thanks again, as always, to the Food Bank of Iowa for inviting us out there to provide coverage. Let's go ahead and take a look at the closing markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
At the end of another trading day in the Ag Marketplace, we're here with Caden Sweeney of agmarket.net. First off, Caden, what do we see going on in the grain markets today?
Yeah, a bit of a quiet Tuesday news-wise, so to speak. Not a lot of, like I said, news coming through in the wire. No export sales this morning, so largely just a trading day, so to speak. Wound up seeing corn and beans both lower on the day. That was really the case for most of the morning. Corn wanted to play on either side of unchanged, but going to close down about 2 cents. Beans down 10 or 11. So a bit of a move there in the bean market, especially below $10. But like I said, not a lot of news going on today yet.
And I saw there were reports of Brazil and China working on some trade contracts now. Is that mostly because, prices are getting cheaper in Brazil? So obviously once they have that leverage, they'll want to buy at the cheapest price? Or is it maybe as well a little bit of pressure from the fact that, America's going through political change, so they're just kind of playing it safe for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm going to go see all the above. I think it's certainly a complicated web of everything going on there. And China, as we know from several years past, are very shrewd businessmen, know what they're doing and know how to get beans bought right. So I think it's a little bit of everything. Obviously, like you said, during American harvest, we're the cheapest beans on the market generally. And then once that Brazil harvest comes online, after the first of the year, they'll take over that spot and our export program will largely dry up. So certainly matters. I mean, we want China to buy as many beans from us as possible to help our own carry out. Certainly a lot to be seen there and develop, especially, as you said, with the new presidency coming in.
And then looking at the other side of the marketplace with the cattle and hogs, how did livestock trade today?
Yeah, cattle market continuing its hot streak, especially on the feeder side. This is 3 days in a row of a strong breakout that started last Friday, even through the 200-day moving average today. And really, I would be a bit cautious here. Days of 3. This was the third day of that move, so I'd be a bit cautious from a technical standpoint of seeing that rally continue. If it does, there's certainly a chart resistance there that we could go hunting for. Around 252 or so. On the January, it could go up to about 260, which is the contract high. So that's something I'd watch for. But like I said, if to me in the very short term feels a bit tired to me on that feeder cattle rally right now.
So then when we look at both cattle and hogs, obviously we see those grain prices go down, and the hog markets and the cattle markets especially will like to see that. If we see pressure throughout, say, the next year or so from possible tariffs and everything, do we think the livestock market will continue to react positively to that, or will it be one of those situations where they still kind of find their own factors to trade on?
Again, I think a little bit of both, and that's a good question. Certainly cheap corn is going to help both complexes out. It makes it easy to produce, cheap cattle, obviously. But I think the risk you run is once you're producing so much cheap cattle that, you start to have a supply problem to where, we've had an undersupply problem and you start to get oversupplied, and that can weigh on prices. I think that's a ways down the road. Certainly remains to be seen. And in the near term, I think it's still going to remain mostly a technical money flow driven market. The funds are record long right now on feeder cattle. We'll see if they want to continue to push that or if they look to step back here from right now. To me, that's the first hurdle to get through, so to speak, to see if we continue to see higher prices or if we start going back down.
All right, Kid, and lots of great information today. For anyone who would like to get in touch with agmarket.net, how can they do that?
Yeah, man, just go to our website, agmarket.net. You can reach out to anyone on our team from there. Certainly a good time of year to be hammering out that marketing plan for next year and 25 and beyond. So be sure to get hold of us there.
All right. Again, Caden Sweeney, agmarket.net, our guest today. Caden, thanks again for the analysis. We look forward to speaking again soon.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
That again was Caden Sweeney of agmarket.net. We'll take a look at how the numbers close through the market window at iowaagnet.com. December corn down 2 even at 427 and a quarter. January soybeans down 11 and a quarter at 998 and a half. Soybean meal down $1.70 at 288.60. Soybean oil down 68 cents at 44.84. Chicago wheat up 2.5 at 549 and 3/4. Kansas City hard red wheat up 3 even at 558 and a quarter. Minneapolis spring wheat at the time of reporting up 1 3/4 at 586 and 3/4. December oats down 19 even at 344 and 3/4. On the Merc, December live cattle up 247 at 186.57. January feeders up 250 at 252 even. December lean hogs down 47 cents at 79.55. Pork cutout down $1.12 at 90.25. And December class 3 milk down 37 cents at 18.95. And that's been a check of the markets here on Ag Matters PM. That also brings us to the end of today's episode. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. Also follow us on social media at Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and TikTok. You can find our video content as well as previous episodes of AM PM on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to see when those videos go live. And as always, don't forget to check out our free morning, midday, and closing market podcasts, as well as the Iowa Ag Matters podcast and Pod to Potential. Find those on your favorite podcasting service at Apple, Amazon, Spotify, and Podbean. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Mark Magnuson, Andy Peterson, and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.